Hey guys, what's going on? It's your host, your boy George Mackay, and we are back. But we are doing this one remotely. There will be no watch along this week because, unfortunately, the missus, my better half, came down with COVID. So while I'm isolating and working from home, and she is resting up, Uncle Bobby B and I had to kick it old school on this one. We had to go back to just a review and recap show of tonight's MLW. Now this will kick in immediately after MLW. So if you've watched MLW and you're watching us, thank you. If you haven't watched MLW, spoilers ahead. And now, without further ado, let me welcome my other better half, the one, the only, Uncle Bobby B.
What's up? How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing okay. You know, like I said, we feel
doing
good.
Okay, yeah,
we feel good.
Yeah. How's the wifey feeling?
She's okay. She's okay. She's in day 4, going into day 5, which would be tomorrow, and then day 6 would be Saturday. So hopefully by day 5 she'll be good to go. She looks a lot better than she did the first 3 days. It hit her hard, but thank God she's okay. There was no emergency hospital visits or anything like that, and it also gave me time after work to watch everything good that is MLW. And this one was a short one, but it wasn't bad. The beginning, even the beginning was entertaining. I have to say, everything on this episode I really enjoyed. So if you're ready, shall we go down the rabbit hole that is MLW this week?
Let's go down the rabbit hole, bud.
All right, so we get a recap of the Von Erichs and 5150 feud, kind of in the beginning, a little promo vignette of everything that had happened leading up to tonight's bunkhouse brawl. And it got me hyped. It got me really excited for this. We also get a recap of Hammer from last week, going to hit Holiday, but inadvertently hit Cesar Durant. And now we will know that Hammer's fate will be decided. So karma's a bitch. There's always punishments for when things happen. And there will be a punishment laid down to Hammer later on in the show. A punishment that shockingly favors Hammer. And I'll get into my opinions on that a little bit later. But first match of the night, Enzo. That's right, Enzo Amore is back. And we know how much Rob loves Enzo. And he's facing, MLW's favorite son, Bud Heavy. Bud Heavy coming out looking Bud Heavy-ish, if you will. And right off the bat, Enzo gives him a drop kick as he's attempting to get into the ring and then proceeds to launch him into the ring post, actually quite hard. I will say he launched him from the ramp into that ring post.
Just like he did to KC, man. Like he just tossed him.
Not so much the Razor's
not the Razor's Edge, because he did that after, but yeah.
Definitely launched with attempt to injure and take out Bud Heavy, and that was the case. Bud Heavy could not compete in the match. Enzo grabs the mic and says, why don't you give me someone who's a little bit harder? Music hits, and it's none other than ACH. ACH comes out looking good, hometown boy, right? Why not? Why would he not answer Enzo's apparent inadvertent open challenge?
And I'll be honest, when this happened, I was like, all right, I'm okay with this. Like, let's see what happens here. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I was the same way. The match was okay. A lot of time I felt that it was ACH that was carrying Enzo. And if you watch the match like we did, you'll see that ACH did more of the high spots. ACH sold a little bit more. Enzo, he did have a couple cool moments. Like there's one when ACH went for the baseball slide and Enzo lifted up the ring apron, catching ACH inside of it, and then using the ring apron to land a couple shots, which was pretty good. And then at the end, it looked like ACH was going to be in firm control, but then Enzo, doing what Enzo does best, kicks the refs into the rope as ACH is going for his finisher, the frog splash, and boom, he hits his cojones on the top turnbuckle, therefore causing Enzo to do the dunzo for the 1-2-3.
Yeah, pretty much everything you said. ACH did most of the work, so to speak. But I think like you kind of are, everyone already knows my opinion on Enzo if you watched it, but I think the way he was working just as a shit-eating heel, that's like not, it's kind of like, I don't know, there's a line from Dirty Harry, the flick that I always love that Clint Eastwood says, because he was talking to his, I think it's Dirty Harry, maybe it's Magnum Force. Anyway, he's talking to his lieutenant. His lieutenant talks about how he never had to take his gun out of his holster in X amount of years, and Dirty Harry's already killed a bunch of guys, and Clint Eastwood says a good man always knows his limitations, as like a fuck you to his boss. But I like that line because it's true. A good man does know his limitations. I'm not saying Enzo's limited, but like the way he worked, it worked. Like it really fit his style and persona. And I mean, I couldn't not like this match. It was good. It was entertaining. I mean, I didn't hate it, that's for sure. So I think it was a good pairing with ACH because he can make you look good. And I mean, no complaints here from me on this one.
No, not at all. I could have done without the savage attack on Bud Heavy, but you know what? Karma, like we said earlier in the episode, karma's a bitch. And Casey Navarro was in the building, but not medically cleared to answer this open challenge. But he came out with a horde of referee and security holding him back. Like, this is a 55-pound man. They didn't need that many people to hold him back, but okay, I get it. You want to sell it. You want to sell it for sure. Enzo, and then the best part about it was as they escorted Casey the back, Enzo still got his arms raised, lowers one down to go like this, and
Yeah.
then proceeds to walk out. So Enzo, all in all, the next time we see Enzo will most likely be at Battle Riot, and Enzo will be one of the 40 participants. But we already know that it seems like they're planting the flag firmly behind Karrion Kross to be the guy that wins Battle Riot, and I'll put my stamp on that now. It just makes logical sense because other than who else do they have? Who else do they have big name? They're
Wait, did you
not
just call him
gonna-
Karrion?
Yeah, that's what his name is, Karrion Kross.
He's going by Karrion Kross still?
Yeah, he's going by Karrion Kross. Well, he can't go by Killer Kross because
Well,
that's Impact.
I don't know. Well, congrats to him either way. He got married last week or week before.
Yeah, sorry, I think you're right. Actually, my apologies. Sorry, Karrion Kross was the WWE verm. He's going by
Okay.
Killer.
You had me fucking questioning myself.
I had me questioning myself. Listen, it's been a long week. Okay, it's been a long week.
I forgive you.
I've been pulling triple duty. Okay, I even made
all
sauce
good in the
last
hood.
night. I made sugo from scratch, bro, and I did a pretty good fucking job. Okay.
Oh, I made some sugo today. You heard about that.
I had you definitely made, but not the kind of sugo that I made. You made your own sugo in your pants. Anyways, so after Casey,
okay.
after Casey, oh my God, you really want to get into it? I don't think our viewers.
No, I don't. That's what. Anyways, after Casey fucking gets held back
after
after
Enzo
155
did the whole,
pounds,
jack off.
Yeah.
Come in the face. We got a 5150 promo in only the way that Danny can do promos and Julius can do promos, with Hernandez Homicide being very tough in the background.
Putting
Danny
cheese on that cracker.
Oh man, put some cheese on that cracker. Shit out Devon Erichs. Like it was a gold mine of plethora. I'm not going to get into all the one-liners, but they were fantastic. And now it is tag team title time. That's right. We got Heavyweight Hustle and Bomyeh Club finally facing off. There's been weeks of builds. We still know the storyline between Alex Kane and Calvin Tankman is far from over, but I gotta say, Bomyeh Club came out looking focused. I was excited to see what Mr. Thomas could do in the ring, and he did not disappoint, but nor did Hustle and Power. Hustle and Power came out, and it was a brawl from the get-go. They climbed through the ropes, they dropped the titles, and they just went to town on Bomyeh. They were in firm control for a while. There was even a point where they got Mr. Thomas out of the ring relatively early, and they were just focusing a little bit of payback on Alex Kane. It was a 2-on-1 assault for a little bit, and Tankman and Nduka both took it to Kane. But then, Kane found a way to make a tag, and Mr. Thomas came rolling in. Then it was a battle of the giants. And I thought for sure we were going to get to see a little bit more than we did. A couple chops, nothing exciting. Then Kane got involved again, holding back EJ while Mr. Thomas sprayed something in his face. Now, I wasn't sure what that was. That was something in their bag of tricks. Was it something to do with, was it mace? Was it hairspray? Like, I'm not sure what was in that canister.
Maybe some kind of pepper spray, I would presume.
Some kind of pepper spray that definitely.
I mean, either way, generally speaking, anything getting sprayed in your eyes is uncomfortable. Could be water, it still sucks.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It was definitely uncomfortable for him. But I will say this much, even with his eyes closed, Nduka found a way to never fall to his knees or to his feet, never landed on his back, and even found a way to tag Calvin Tankman blind as a bat. And then while he was trying to get his eyes washed out, Calvin tried to take both men on. Didn't work out well for the most part, but there was some cool moments. My favorite moment was when Mr. Thomas picked up Tankman and swung him around like a fucking rag doll. That was impressive. To get a man that big off his feet, and not only off his feet, but to actually swing him around 360, I got to give it up to Mr. Thomas. That impressed the shit out of me.
Now, Mr. Thomas is a tall man, so legs looked a little skinnier than maybe most guys would, but I think that's more due to his height than any lack of leg strength, because he clearly had some fucking strength, man. That dude is jacked, and he looked, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here. I don't know how long he's been wrestling at all. He looked a little green, but way better than I expected. Like he might have been wrestling for 5-10 years for all I know. I don't know, but I'm saying like he looked pretty good. I enjoyed the match. Like you said, there was a lot of impressive feats of strength, and hustle and power came out on top. But I don't think that's the end of that feud there, especially now that we've got Mr. Thomas in the mix.
No, it's definitely not. And there was another cool moment right at the end when EJ finally got his eyes cleaned, I guess enough to see. He came in and he clotheslined the shit out of Mr. Thomas, and then he hit that. He hit the verdict,
The
if you will,
spine
which
buster.
is a spine buster. He calls it the verdict, and then that sweet power slam with the splash by Calvin Tankman for the 1-2-3. And you're right, they retained, but that clothesline was fucking vicious.
Yeah, and thank you for reminding me about that, because credit to Mr. Thomas, because fucking green or not, he shooting starred that clothesline, like he backflipped it with the twist, like that's a hard thing to do. I know some guys who've been working for years that have only just kind of gotten that down. So like that, yeah, and the power from Nduka to just send him flipping backwards, that was insane. That was a high spot of the match for me.
Absolutely. That and the spin around 360 on Tankman. Because like I said, Tankman's a big
Yeah.
boy, just over 300 pounds. And to lift him up and get him swung 360 around, like that's impressive. Now, mind you, a lot of it would be Tankman's own momentum, but still impressive nonetheless, in my honest opinion.
Yep,
and then we get
absolutely.
a Von Erichs promo on tonight's match. It's a Von Erichs promo. It's Texas. We're coming. Karma. It's typical Von Erichs promo, but still, nonetheless, they looked a little bit more heartfelt. It's nice to see them cut a promo about Texas when they're actually in Texas. I hate to be the one to say that, but it takes me out of it when we love Texas. We live and breathe Texas, but you're in Hawaii. Like, guys, just say we're excited to get back to North American soil. You don't have to talk about how much you live and breathe Texas when you're not in Texas. I'm sorry. It doesn't work for me, and it takes me out of a lot of the episodes when the Von Erichs cut promos, because if you're not in Texas, I don't want to hear about Texas.
Hey, I mean, Stone Cold did that shit.
That's a different beast altogether. We're talking
True.
about two different.
I mean, this promo actually I thought was a little bit better than most of the promos I've seen from the Von Erichs.
And it's
I think
where they were. It's logistically because they were in Dallas.
What I think gets me, and like by no means am I any sort of expert on promos, but I think sometimes when they talk, it'll just blah, blah, blah. But like there's it's almost monotone, like there's no passion and emotion behind it. But today I felt that. I felt that emotion coming through. Their cadence was changing, like their volume was changing. It was an improvement for me on the stuff I've seen from them in the past. So definitely I think that passion of being back in Texas comes through.
Fair enough. I'll give you that.
That's my assessment.
Absolutely. And then right before the main event, which is the bunkhouse brawl that we talked about, we find out Hammerstone's fate. So Cesar Durant is in his office a week after getting punched in the face and still has ice over his eye. That was a head scratcher for me. But nonetheless, the man who is still holding ice over his eye a week after getting inadvertently punched in the face has decided that the only punishment that fits Hammerstone is for Cesar Durant to get a title shot next week versus Hammerstone. Now, don't get me wrong. The odds will be stacked against him. CD will definitely have members of, his little posse, if you will.
Lucha Death Squad. That's what I call them.
Death Squad to definitely be involved in the match. I'm sure 5150 will be involved in the match. Bestia 666 will be involved. Anybody that's got kind of ties with CD will most likely stick their nose in this match. Aramis, they will all get involved at some point, but nonetheless, it's not going to change the outcome because the outcome is Holiday versus Hammerstone. And for him to drop the title to Cesar Durant makes absolutely no sense. I understand the booking. CD wants to get in his head, play mind games. Who knows? Richard himself might get involved in this match as well. Alicia might be there. We don't know. But this doesn't really seem like a punishment for Hammer. It almost seems like you're serving up yourself on a silver platter because you know Hammer's going to get a couple shots in. No matter how many people get involved, Hammer will find a way to get a little payback on Cesar Durant.
He might, but you know, if CD is going to set this up this way, it's going to be in his favor. He's not going to play himself into a situation where Hammer's going to be able to just, rip him apart. He's got something tricky up his sleeve. I'm interested to see what it is, but like you said, a bunch of those guys will probably be involved. you know, you could see Richard pop out from under the ring for all we know. Who knows what'll happen?
Well, I don't say Richard will be popping out from underneath the ring. There's a man who will never go underneath the ring as Richard Holiday.
You never know.
What I
You could
could
set
see
up a
Richard Holiday
nice
doing,
bed down there.
what I could see Richard Holiday doing is putting a table with champagne and roses right by the ring. So him and Alicia could sit down, eat some chocolate covered strawberries, watch this match as you know all this stuff unfolds. And also getting into Hammer's head as it creeps closer to that main event at Kings of Coliseum, right? So either way, next week is going to be entertaining to say the least, and I'm excited to see what Cesar Duran has up his sleeve. And good luck, Hammer. You're not going to need it, but definitely you're going to have your head on a swivel. That's for sure.
You might need it.
I don't think so. The outcome is still going to be Hammer will still be the champion. Now it's main event time. 5150 comes out, and man, Danny Limelight. This guy is just on another level that is nothing less than Danny Limelight. So shout out to Danny Limelight. This is probably going to be a clip for the episode. Danny Limelight telling fans to shut the hell up or he's going to slap them like Chris Rock, calling out an 8-year-old child saying he's ugly, telling a super cute girl in the audience that we never got to see a camera shot, you're kind of cute, and literally having Dallas faithful screaming piss and vinegar at him, giving him the middle finger. This guy knows how to control a crowd to no avail.
Heat magnet.
He got so much heat in that 5 minutes before the Von Erichs came out. It was breathtaking to watch. And I'll say it again. MLW scored a diamond in the rough when they signed both him and Slice Boogie, because there was AEW missed the fucking boat on Danny Limelight. That's all I'll say. Straight the fuck up. We've said it so many times. It's disgusting. Now, just in that point, boom, the Von Erichs come out, and they were all over Danny and Hernandez. Like, starts off with a little bit of a brawl. They're all over Danny and Hernandez very quickly. They got Hernandez kind of out of the ring early, and they got a little bit of karma, a little bit of payback on Danny Limelight, because Danny Limelight was obviously the target in this match. Hernandez was a filler for Slice Boogie, but Danny had done most of the talking. So they needed to shut him up very quick. And also, the greatest part about this match, too, was seeing Julius Smokes run around the ring with a rake, trying to pretend to attack fans, and then did attack Marshall with it. But Marshall no-sold it. He launched that rake into Marshall's gut, and Marshall just literally stepped around it Matrix style and then smacked him right across the face. Like, Julius Smokes, again, is another diamond in the rough. He makes 5150 better because the distraction on the outside is gold. Hold on, before you interject, just one other point of this.
Yeah.
There's one part where Marshall had Danny on the outside. He used one of the ring boards, and he was going to run into him. And then Danny moved out of the way, and Marshall went into the board, and he smacked the ground. And the best part about it was both Danny and Julius Smokes laughing like schoolboys that had seen titties for the first time, and then saying, stupid. That was stupid. That was fucking great.
Dude, credit to Smokes and the fan, because the fan was pissed off, and Smokes went up and started like going to fisticuffs with him, and the fan played along but knew not to get stupid too. Like, they made it look like they were going, but Smokes was great. Like, to even just do that, to go up to a fan and start throwing like little shots, that was amazing. I really thought that was great crowd work from Smokes. The way he kept saying putting cheese on that cracker, or spreading cheese on that cracker, was great. What else can I say? Yeah, that was fantastic. I enjoyed this. It was a brawl, like you said. It was an old school bunkhouse brawl. Anything goes. That's the way an anything goes match should be.
Yeah, and for one time in MLW, all the weapons that were on the outside actually got utilized. Danny got thrown on top of one of the hay bales. Like I said, the rake came into play. They used a lot of the ring boards. At one point, after Marshall was on the ground, after going through that board, they had a 2-on-1 kind of on Ross, and they put him through a lot. At one point, Danny got slammed on that wall. Again, was great. He got slammed a few times on the guardrail. He went for an electric chair on Ross. Then he got hit with another one of the boards on by Marshall, therefore giving Ross a chance to get out of the electric chair. And then he got suplexed from the top by Marshall. Danny took a lot of big bumps in this one. And then Hernandez had kind of perched this, I don't know, board on 2 chairs in the corner, had tagged 5150 on it. And just as they were going to set Ross up for something, Marshall came in and just launched Danny through that, leaving Danny completely out of the match. And then he lands the claw on Hernandez. He dropped him to his
Well,
back.
then they did the eagle claw.
Yeah, the
with
eagle
slam.
claw for the 1, 2, 3. And I gotta say, this was by far one of these like stipulation matches or name change matches that MLW loves to pull out. This one was enjoyable. For a 45-minute episode, you can't beat how much entertainment was packed into this 45 minutes. And shout out to 5150 and Ross and Marshall Von Erich, because they did put on one hell of a show. And obviously the Von Erichs were not going to lose in Dallas, title or no title. They weren't going to lose in Dallas because there was too much repercussions that had to be repaid. But this was very entertaining episode. I have no bad things to say about it.
Yeah, for a 45-minute episode, I think it was just like less promos than we usually have, and there was no lucha match like we're kind of used to at the beginning. There's been like lucha matches opening up the last little while,
and no Hammer,
but,
no Holiday.
No Hammer Holiday,
time,
but
right?
Hey, it was a good episode, and we knew that I kind of knew the Von Erichs would go over, especially after they've come back after all this time. They've got to get back some of that prestige that they've lost in that time off that teams like 5150 have taken over. Like a Bunkhouse Brawl is a throwback. It's something they used to do in, I want to say, World Class and probably a bunch of other promotions. I think NWA used to do Bunkhouse Brawls and that. So hey, great throwback. If you're gonna do a gimmick match, Bunkhouse Brawl is a good one, and I think they executed this one very well.
Absolutely, I can't say anything bad about this. So shout out to Danny Limelight for being on point. Shout out to Julius Smokes for being who he is. Shout out to Ross and Marshall Von Erich for actually coming out with some passion in their voices in the promo this week, but also delivering on that match. Like, they really pulled it out. And again, that's what a lot of people, I think, sleep on the Von Erichs. Like, yeah, the Von Erichs are very one-dimensional when they're talking about their lineage, they're talking about their history, but that's what they have to go on. But the fact is that they pulled out some cool shit in this match, and they delivered. And Danny took a lot of bumps. So between that, the tag match, seeing Alex Kane crawling all over the floor, a little bit upset that he didn't get Bomyeh didn't get a chance to capture gold. It was a great episode. It was a lot of fun. So all in all, I give this one a good time. I'm not going to grade it, but I give it a good time. Hey,
I give it a good time.
I'm going to give it a good time. We haven't done this in a while. Would you like to do our version of the power rankings for this week?
I don't even know if we have enough.
I think we do. I think we
All right, go.
All right, I'm gonna give it number 10. This may surprise a lot of people. I'm gonna give it to Enzo Amore. Like I said, I thought he did well in the match with what he had to work with. Again, working with ACH definitely elevated him. So I'm gonna give number 10 to Enzo for a good week. And the fact is that this man can generate heat without just looking at you cross-eyed. He can gain heat. So I'm gonna give number 10 to Enzo Amore.
All right, I'm going to give number 9 to the gaggle of security guards who had the unenvious task of holding back 155-pound Casey Navarro.
Fair enough.
They're the real MVPs.
Yes, absolutely. I am going to give number 8 to the bottle of water that was given to EJ and Duca to clean out his eyes. Great job.
All right. Number 7. I guess we can give number 7 to the ice pack that CD had.
Nice. The ice pack was an
it's been for a week. It's a good ice pack,
and it looked solid. Like, it still looked good. It looked like a lot of ice in there. So yeah, for sure. Number 6, I'm going to give it to Bomyeh Fight Club. Mr. Thomas really impressed me. Alex Kane, again, knows how to generate heat. We've seen Alex Kane come into his own in MLW, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for that young man, because every time you see him, he just gets a little bit better, a little bit more confident. He's got a lot more swagger, and the gold around him looks good. So anytime there's a championship on Alex Kane, I will definitely be watching.
All right. Well, in that case, I got to give the next one to Hustle and Power, because they overcame that deficit and that eye situation. They looked good. They had an entertaining match, and they retained. So let's give it to them.
Absolutely. Number 4, I'm going to go ahead and give it to ACH, because like I said, I think he elevated Enzo in that match, and he looked great. ACH is a great talent. I just think the last couple of years have been hard on the man, but he's still got it. He's still got it in a lot of ways, and he can elevate to the best of them. So yeah, ACH.
I like seeing ACH in pro wrestling.
That's
simple as that.
Enough said. Who do you got at number 3?
Uh, I guess I got to give it to Danny Limelight for, cutting that fire promo, working that fire match. Stupid. Like, it was great. I got to give it to Danny.
Absolutely. And number two, I'm going to give it to Ross and Marshall Von Erich because, like I said, they delivered. There was passion, there was tone, and I'm going to give it to the Von Erichs on that. Number one should be very easy for you. Number one should be the other unsung hero of that Bunkhouse Brawl match, which
Julius
was
Smokes.
Julius Smokes. Julius Smokes.
Absolutely.
Going
Almost got in a
50
fight with a fan, spreading cheese on that cracker.
Stupid.
First minister of the Baptist Church. We love Julius Smokes.
Yeah, absolutely. We're all in on Julius Smokes and Danny Limelight 5150. All right, guys, that's it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. If you're watching, give us a subscribe. We're at 520, and we're happy to keep growing, keep evolving. Let us know your thoughts on tonight's episode, what you liked, what you didn't like. Let us know what you liked about what we said, if you agreed or disagreed. It's all love at the end of the day. As always, I'm your host, your boy, George Mackay. And don't forget, the socials are in the link below. Check out the link tree. It's got a link to everything, our Instagram, our Facebook. We've said it so many times. I'm tired of running it. You know it. If you don't, click the link below. It's in the link tree. And as always, me and my partner, Uncle Bobby B, say peace, love, and wrestling. See you next week.
Adios.